Maryland Civil Service Commission says Mayor Cantrell improperly interfered in the police department's promotion process.
Rob Masson has details.
Megan Lauren, the Police Association of New Orleans and the Black Organization of Police allege Cantrell directed Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick to pause promotions to the rank of captain and major, affecting more than 30 officers. The commission says she did this to benefit a specific lieutenant, violating the state constitution's requirement for merit-based promotions. That lieutenant was Sabrina Richardson, who previously led the NOPD's Public Integrity Bureau, which investigated the mayor's former bodyguard, Jeffrey Vappy, for allegations of payroll fraud and having an improper relationship with the mayor. Richardson was demoted and suspended after a Lee Zurich investigation found instances of her claiming to be working for the NOPD and off-duty details at the same time. Petitioners allege Cantrell claimed the process was biased when she learned Richardson would not be promoted.
You know, it just goes to show that even at this particular date and time, even with the federal monitors involved in approving the procedure, that you know, still there was political influence that tried to put the finger on the weight of the scale.
Now, the Civil Service Commission also found the mayor instructed Kirkpatrick to promote majors and captains without considering evaluations and scores from deputy superintendents, in violation of the federal consent decree. The commission says Kirkpatrick refused to do so. Now, the city issued a statement saying it disagrees with the commission's findings and says that the mayor did not interfere in the promotional process. The city says it remains firmly committed to maintaining a fair, transparent, and merit-based process. The NOPD also sent a statement saying, in part, the chief consistently prioritized integrity and adherence to the process, and the department will continue to uphold that standard.